I want to show you something simple. It's a set of procurement mistakes I see every day that quietly reduce value without anyone noticing. This video is for everyone who buys at scale. If you manage real spend across operations, portfolios, or large organizations, this is for you. I have spent over 2 decades in operations and procurement. I have managed budgets, overseen renovations, negotiated vendor contracts, and dealt with procurement platforms across large portfolios. I have worked for some of the largest management firms in a country. I have overseen portfolios up to 32,000 units, and I have been in charge of multi-million-dollar budgets. Here's what's in for you. By the end of this video, you will know where procurement leaks usually hide, how to spot them fast, and what to check this week to stop the losses from repeating. This is not theory. I'm going to use real examples, real numbers, and simple actions you can apply right away. This gets practical fast. We're going through 7 mistakes. For each one, I will show you what it looks like, why it costs you money, and one action you could take immediately. This is how current procurement platforms operate. They upload a price list on a schedule, usually at the beginning of the month. And then the system treats that like it stays true throughout the month. 4 things can happen next. Most teams only plan for one of them. Outcome number 1, everything works as expected. Prices are accurate. Items are in stock. Invoices match what was approved. This does happen. The real question is, how often does it happen across a full month of orders? Outcome number 2, the item goes out of stock and the platform gives no warning. So the service manager places the order like normal. Later, the vendor says it's unavailable, or they substitute a different item that the team did not choose. Now the work stops. Now the team waits. The vendor is called. Maintenance changes the plan and turns slow down because the right part is not on site. This creates extra steps, more calls, more emails, more time spent, and sometimes a second trip that never needed to happen. Outcome number 3, the price changes after the monthly price list was uploaded. So the team orders based on the platform price. Then the invoice comes back higher because the supplier's real price changed, but the platform did not update. Now a change order is needed. Someone has to explain the increase, get approval, update the paperwork, and push it through the system before anything moves forward. That slows down the whole workflow. Accounting gets pulled in, approvals stack up, and site teams spend time fixing exceptions instead of running the property. Outcome number 4, they charge you more and no one catches it. This one is very quiet, and it happens more than people think. These systems work by line item. If a $16.40 part shows up at $17.40, most platforms will not flag it unless someone is actively auditing invoices. It passes. Then there are extra fees, restocking, delivery, fuel surcharges. Each one looks small. Together, they add up fast. Here's the action that you could take. Pull the last several vendor bills and spot check agreed prices against what was actually charged. Then look for extra fees and total them. This episode is brought to you by AppWork, the maintenance platform built by operators for operators. If your work order system is slowing you down, it's time for a change. AppWork helps you streamline operations, boost tech efficiency, and track everything in real time. Smarter tools, better results. Check them out at appworkco.com. Number 2, exclusivity removes flexibility. Exclusivity feels simple, and it exists for a reason. If you agree to buy most of your supplies from one vendor, you usually get better net pricing. That is real. Exclusivity can be a powerful tool when it works. The risk shows up when something breaks. Suppliers run out, back orders happen, then your team waits. Another supplier might have the item in stock, but the contract forbids you to order from them. Delays cost real money. Let's think about this example. At $1,800 rent, there is about $60 a day in vacancy loss. So a 7-day delay is about $420 per unit. Go ahead and scale that delay. 10 delayed units a month becomes about $50,400 a year. There is a better way to do this. Real competition. You add additional vendors. Then use a system that picks the best price based on a manufacturer SKU number. That removes bias. It makes pricing a fact, not a relationship. It also keeps your vendors honest because they know they're being compared every single time. I have case studies that show this is real. Shopping for best prices across multiple vendors can save you up to 20% on your invoices. Here's an action you should take here. Pick one category and run a 30-day pilot using a tool that routes purchases by manufacturer SKU to the lowest price vendor. Then compare invoices before and after. This is not a pitch. If you get value from the show, you should know what we do at Multifamily X Consulting. We help supplier partners build reputation and trust in multifamily. Because in this space, trust moves deals. Trust reduces risk. Trust gets you chosen. We build it the right way through real proof and consistent presence. Number 3, the $440,000 renovation check. Here's a real test I ran. I oversaw an interior renovation across 738 units under an exclusive supplier agreement. We were told pricing was competitive. So I didn't want to really guess, and I decided to pressure test that assumption. I went ahead and I priced every line item with a second vendor. Same products where possible and true equivalents were needed. This was a full line-by-line comparison across the entire scope. The saving came out clear. About $440,000 total across the entire project, or just under $600 per unit. That is real money. And it came from one thing, comparison. Here's the action you could take here. Take one current rehab scope and price it line by line with one additional supplier. Number 4, rebates distort the truth. Rebates sound like savings, right? Most of the time, they're just a sales gimmick. Here's what actually happens. Price gets bumped up front, and the rebate is used to make you feel like you won. So the math is rigged from the start. And the real damage hits operations. Your teams live and die by monthly spend limits. So when pricing gets inflated, you blow your budget every month all year. Then a small check shows up at the end of the year, and it does nothing to fix the month-to-month pressure you lived in. Now the numbers. On a $2 million in annual spending, a 3% price bump is $60,000. At 2% rebate, this gives you back $40,000. That leaves a $20,000 loss. That loss repeats every single year. At 6% cap rate, $20,000 supports about $333,000 in reduced property value. Sometimes it gets even worse. If the rebate never reaches ownership, the full $60,000 loss supports about $1 million in reduced value. Here's an action you could take here. Treat rebates as a bonus, not as a decision factor. Approve vendors based on lowest net monthly pricing on your top spend time. Then ignore the rebate when you set budgets and buy. Number 5, shipping fees from split orders. This leak hides in a workflow. A team places one large order with many items on it, and the supplier split it. That single order becomes multiple smaller orders shipped separately. Some of those invoices for the particular orders fall under $50. Then the under $50 invoices get a shipping charge applied. So you might see this. A $38 invoice gets hit with a $25 shipping fee, even though it came from a bigger order. That fee is real money, and it repeats quietly. Here's the simple math. If 10 under $50 invoices per month get hit with a $25 shipping fee, that's $250 per month, which translates into $3,000 per year per property in extra fees. Here's an action that you could take. Pull 60 days of invoices, filter for orders under $50, and total the shipping charges tied to those invoices. That number is a leak. Now you could fix the cause. Number 6, punch-out catalogs limit savings. Here's what a punch-out catalog means. Is it basically accessing one vendor's website inside your procurement platform with real-time pricing. It feels convenient. It also keeps people inside one vendor line. That limits competition and limits comparison. And limited comparison keeps prices higher. When teams can shop multiple vendors for best final price, costs can drop by up to 20%. I have seen case studies that show this can be real when purchasing is routed to the lowest price by the manufacturer SKU. Now the math. On a $2 million per year in spend, a 20% difference equals $400,000 per year in savings. That recurring savings supports major value. Over time, that could support millions in property value. Here's the action that you could take here. Pick 5 common items and price check them across 2 to 3 suppliers. Then compare final prices, including fees. Competition protects value. Limited comparison leaks value. Number 7, the discount trap. Discounts grab attention. Final prices decide what you actually pay. Here's a quick example. Vendor A lists an item at $120 with 13% off. So you end up paying $104.40. Vendor B lists the same item at $100 with 12% off. You end up paying $88. The bigger discount sounds better. The lower final price wins. In this case, is it $16.40 for one of them, for one item. Buy it 1,000 times a year, and that is $16,400 in annual savings. That annual savings supports real value. At 6% cap rate, $16,400 supports about $273,000 in property value. Here's the action you could take. Pick one high volume item and compare final prices across 2 suppliers. Here's the takeaway. Small procurement decisions repeat, and repeated decisions affect property value. The win is simple. Stop guessing and start checking. I put together a procurement reality check. It's a short scorecard you can run in one sitting to find the leaks we just covered. Grab it from the description.